Imagine being so brilliant that you win not one but two Nobel Prizes in different scientific fields. Now imagine doing it as a woman in the early 1900s, starting from absolute poverty, in a world that didn't even want you in a laboratory. This is the unbelievable true story of Marie Curie. Born Maria Skłodowska in 1867 in Warsaw, Poland, Marie's childhood was marked by tragedy and oppression. Poland was under Russian control, and her family faced constant political persecution. When Marie was only 10 years old, her oldest sister died of typhus. A year later, her mother died of tuberculosis. But here's where it gets even harder. Marie was brilliant, top of her class, but there was one massive problem. Women weren't allowed to attend university in Poland. Think about that. You're a genius, and your country literally won't let you get an education because of your gender. So what did Marie do? At 18, she made a pact with her older sister Bronya. Marie would work as a governess, basically a private teacher for wealthy families, to fund Bronya's medical education in Paris. The deal? Once Bronya became a doctor, she'd return the favor. For 6 years, Marie worked in isolation, sending most of her tiny salary to her sister. She lived in freezing attics, was treated as little more than a servant, and studied mathematics and physics alone by candlelight. 6 years. Most people would have given up. Marie was just getting started. In 1891, at age 24, Marie finally made it to Paris. She enrolled at the Sorbonne, one of the few universities in Europe that accepted women. But her struggles were far from over. She lived in a tiny, unheated attic. She was so poor that she sometimes fainted from hunger while studying. In winter, she piled all her clothes on her bed just to avoid freezing to death. But Marie graduated first in her physics degree and second in mathematics. First in physics, while literally starving. In 1894, Marie's life changed when she met Marie Curie, an already respected physicist. Their first conversation? About science. Their first date? More science. They were intellectual soulmates. Pierre saw Marie not as a woman who was surprising for being smart, but as an equal, a partner. In 1895, they married, and their honeymoon was a bike tour through the French countryside. Even their romance was unconventional. In 1896, Henri Becquerel discovered that uranium emitted mysterious rays. Marie became obsessed. What were these rays? Were other elements doing this? For her doctoral research, she investigated this phenomenon, and Pierre dropped his own work to join her. Their laboratory? An abandoned shed. It was so cold their samples froze in winter. It had no ventilation. It leaked when it rained. In this miserable workspace, Marie processed literally tons of pitchblende, uranium ore, by hand. She stirred boiling toxic material in massive cauldrons for hours, breathing in radioactive dust day after day. And then, they found it. 2 completely new elements. Polonium, named after Marie's beloved Poland, and radium. Marie coined the term radioactivity itself. This wasn't just a small discovery, this was revolutionizing science. In 1903, Marie became the first woman to defend her doctoral thesis in France. That same year, she, Pierre, and Becquerel won the Nobel Prize in Physics. She was the first woman to ever win a Nobel Prize. But here's the kicker. The Nobel Committee initially wanted to award the prize only to Pierre and Becquerel. Pierre refused unless Marie was included. Can you imagine? She did the work, and they tried to write her out of history. Just 3 years after their Nobel Prize, in 1906, tragedy struck. Pierre was killed in a street accident, hit by a horse-drawn carriage on a rainy Paris street. Marie was devastated. She was 38, a widow with 2 young daughters, and alone. The University of Paris offered her Pierre's professorship. She became the first female professor there, but the grief nearly destroyed her. She channeled everything into her work. For 5 more years, Marie worked in isolation, purifying radium and determining its atomic weight with unprecedented precision. The scientific establishment dismissed her, gossiped about her, tried to discredit her work. In 1911, she won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. Let that sink in. She became the first person, man or woman, to win Nobel Prizes in 2 different sciences. To this day, she remains the only person to win Nobels in multiple sciences, physics and chemistry. From that freezing attic to the absolute pinnacle of scientific achievement, twice. Marie didn't stop there. During World War I, she developed mobile X-ray units, petites curies, and drove them to the front lines herself, exposing herself to even more radiation to save soldiers' lives. Marie Curie died in 1934 from aplastic anemia, caused by decades of radiation exposure. She literally gave her life for science. Her papers from the 1890s are still too radioactive to handle safely. They're kept in lead-lined boxes. Marie Curie faced poverty, sexism, tragedy, and isolation. She was told no at every turn. And she changed the world anyway. Her discoveries led to cancer treatments, nuclear energy, and fundamental physics breakthroughs that we still use today. So the next time you think something is impossible, remember the woman who studied by candlelight in a freezing attic, processed tons of toxic ore in a leaking shed, and won 2 Nobel Prizes when the world said women couldn't even be scientists. Marie Curie didn't just break barriers, she obliterated them. What seemingly impossible goal are you working toward? Let me know in the comments. And if this story inspired you, hit that subscribe button, because history is full of people who refuse to accept no as an answer.